Welcome. This is the February 22nd meeting of the Wallingford Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd like to start the meeting by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight's decision will be published in the Record Journal on Friday, February 24th, 2023. The effective date of your variance will be Friday, February 24th, 2023. The date a certified copy is recorded on the land records. The statutory 15-day appeal period will expire on Sunday, March 12th, 2023. If you commence operations and/or construction during the appeal period, you do so at your own risk. Voting tonight is Bruce Conroy, Tom Wolfer, Karen Harris, Ray Rise, and myself, Joe Russick. So the first application is 23-001, special exception for Anastasio for 43 Algonquin Drive, and then 23-002, variance request for Anastasio for 43 Algonquin Drive. Please come up and have a seat. Welcome. Hold the microphone nice and close to you.
How are you?
Hey, pull it closer. Right, there you
Gotcha.
go. State your name and address for the record, please.
It's Christopher Anastasio, 43 Algonquin Drive.
Welcome.
How are you?
Not bad. Explain your application to us, please.
It's basically more square footage for storage off the back, an existing 24 by 24, and then a little bump out off the side for some tools.
Okay, so you're building a garage and then a workshop?
Correct.
And you came before us before for this, and you reduced everything now?
I had Chris Giuliani
Yep.
represent me,
Yep.
and I took in consideration to get my 8 inches for the variance for the side, and I also shrunk down the workshop to 2 feet from 18 to get my front from curb to the side of the shop what it would be.
Okay. Amy, it looks like you want to say something.
First of all, I think there's some correspondence to read into the record
Oh, yeah, sorry.
regarding the point of order. And to that note, the what is not reflected in those copies is a mathematical error on that staff is responsible for. So your motions and the map is amended by 4 inches on one dimension for Mr. Anastasio's garage area to accommodate the correct figure. So I just wanted to note that and take responsibility and
Thank you for the reminder. I guess being away for,
then
for
the
3
reminder.
months.
So
So let's back up.
Yeah,
Madam
yeah.
Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments for number 23-001 is a special exception request for 43 Algonquin Drive, and number 23-002 is a variance request also for 43 Algonquin Drive. So applications 23-001 and 23-002 are companion applications for the same proposal at the same site. Special exception request is for total garage area of 1,320 square feet, where 930 square feet is permitted as of right, and 576 square feet is existing in order to add 744 square feet of garage area to detached garage at 43 Algonquin Drive in an RU40 district. Application number 23-002 is a variance request for building coverage of 12.2%, where maximum 10% is permitted and 8.9% exists as a result of the additional 744 square feet of garage addition. The parcel at 43 Algonquin Drive is located in an R40 district. Applicant previously applied for special exception and 2 variances for 792 square feet addition to detached garage in September 2022 and was denied. Applicant has reduced the requested garage area addition and located it in a compliant location. Previous application required a side yard variance not currently requested or necessary. The modification to the initial proposal has eliminated the need for 1 variance in its entirety. Building coverage variance has been reduced. The original subdivision creating this lot in an RU40 district was approved at such time when the bulk standards for RU40 zones, lot size, setbacks, and building coverage requirements were equal to current R-18 zone, and if still in effect, this proposal would be compliant and not require any variances. The RU40 bulk standards currently in effect today leave the lot undersized and lessen the building coverage permitted to 10% versus 15% when created. Applicant has also reduced the previous special exception request by 48 square feet. That's it.
Thank you. Now we can continue.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that was important.
Makes it a little easier.
Yeah, there
That was
you go.
important.
So you did reduce the size from the previous application?
Correct. Well, on both structures.
Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
Amy, the size of the house.
Hold the microphone closer.
Okay, sorry. The size of the house versus the size of the garage, is there requirements with that also? Because the garage is going to be quite large comparatively to the house, isn't that? Doesn't have as many square feet.
The only requirement is, the way there are regulations are structured around garage area and special exceptions is everybody is entitled to 936 square feet as of right, regardless of the size of their house. They may get more as of right compared to their living area. So up to 50% of their living area with a cap at 1,800. So the larger your house, the more you get as of right.
So what-
Otherwise, there is no restriction in terms of house size versus garage size.
So what's the right on this house if the house is 1,200 square feet?
Then he gets 936. That's what
Okay,
that's
what
what
the numbers are. Okay,
Yep.
that's how you came up with it. Thank you.
everybody gets that.
Yeah.
If your house is 400 square feet, you get 936, so.
Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions for the applicant? Anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against? Hearing, seeing none, anything further you'd like to add?
No, unfortunately. I'm downsizing my parents' house, so a lot of this is stuff coming from them over to my occupancy, you know. The square footage in the back and the tools as far as the side. That little bump out where my shop is off the side, that 12 by 16. That's pretty much it. In view of anything, my house is set back, so from coming from either way, up or down the road, you're not going to see what's going to be an existing 48-foot wall, you know. And both my neighbors to the side of me are very, very, you know, we've got along for 20-something plus years. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing and open it up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Chairman, we'll handle these separately?
Yes.
Okay. Make a motion to accept the request, special exception request for 1,320 square feet of garage area to expand detached garage at 43 Algonquin Drive as shown on limited property boundary survey, zoning location survey, land of Christopher Anastasio, dated 6/5/22, revision date 11/15/22, and submitted plans received 12/15/22, subject to garage addition would reduce from 23 feet 4 inches to 23 feet, 0 inches. So moved.
Motion to approve, Mr. Conroy.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Harris.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes.
Thank you.
23002 Anastasio, 43 Algonquin Drive. I'm requesting to approve the variance for a 12.2% building coverage where 10% maximum is permitted to add 744 square feet additions to a detached garage at 43 Algonquin Drive, as shown on limited property boundary survey, zoning location survey, plan of Christopher Anastasio dated 6/5/22, revision date 11/15/22, and submitted plans received 12/15/22. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Conroy.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Harris.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes to approve. Your special exception
Thank
and
you.
variance requests have been approved. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next up is 23-003, a special exception request for Castelli, 85 Northfield Road. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments. Applicant seeks special exception for 1,428 square feet of garage area where 528 square feet exists and 900 square feet is proposed at 85 Northfield Road in an R18 district to construct a two-story attached garage with second-floor living space. Proposed garage addition is opposite side of dwelling from existing detached garage. Regulations prohibit constructing attached garages on opposite sides of dwelling, but have no restrictions where one garage is detached. The proposed garage will also require access, and any proposed new driveway will also require permit from the town engineer for an additional curb cut. Engineering will consider proximity of additional curb cut to intersection with Blakesley Road. I think we also have, Mr. Chairman, memo written to Amy Torre, the zoning enforcement officer, from Allison Kapuscinski, the town engineer.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Christopher Castelli, 85 Northfield Road.
Pull the microphone nice and close to you so we can hear you. Perfect. Please explain your application.
So I have two small children now, and the walls are closing in, so I need some more room. Adding a garage with the dwelling above is going to provide me with more than enough space for all their toys and and 2 bedrooms for them.
Okay, but you have a garage on one side and you're going to be adding a garage on the other?
Correct.
There's a memo from the town engineer about the curb cut.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a letter from them yet. There is a curb cut already on that side of the property. It was there when I bought the property back in '08. Don't know if that's legal or not. It was there.
Amy's got that letter. So, I mean, the concern is you're going to have a driveway right across from Blakesley, right?
Incorrect. Incorrect, sir. My current driveway is right across from
Okay.
Blakesley.
All right. So you're adding another driveway down,
Further down.
right?
Yep.
So in her letter, she's concerned about the second curb cut.
What does it say?
It sounds like she believes that the curb cut's going to be across from Blakesley, which is
Right.
incorrect.
Okay.
You could probably see it on the map that you guys sent me.
Here already.
Yeah, yep.
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order on that, if
Go ahead.
I can clarify.
Yes.
First of all, the approvals from the zoning board of appeals are separate and apart from the approvals of engineering. That's one point.
Yep.
You could approve it and they could say no for the curb cut, but it doesn't have any bearing on the structure. Secondly, that should this not have been a garage, Mr. Castelli would not be in front of you. So the building is appropriately located, and if it were just all living space, they wouldn't need to be here. It's because it's a special exception, just to take note of, so.
If I was taking down the other garage, it wouldn't be an issue, correct?
You would have ample area that's granted. So the only reason,
Right.
they just wanted to clarify, the only reason the gentleman is here is for the garage area.
Right.
So,
I was just curious about the curb cut.
yeah, and it is an issue, and the town engineer is fully aware of the property. And whether or not, doesn't mean that it won't be approved. It's another
No,
permitting
I
process to
understand
go
it has
through.
nothing to do with what we're, I just, it
It's
was
another
brought up in
permit.
the minutes. And anybody got any questions for the applicant? Karen, looks like you wanted to say something.
Well, I guess my question, since Amy just brought that up, so you'll wind up with 3 garage bays, one on one side?
It'll actually be 4.
It'll be
So the
4.
current one is 2. This one will have 2 doors. I mean, if that'll get it passed. I'll put 1 door on it if that makes you happy. It's going to be 2. And the reason for the extra garage space is one, the kids have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. I have snowmobiles and motorcycles. So extra garage space. I want my wife to be able to park in a garage. And right now, she can't do that, so.
So I guess I would just ask, is the intention to actually put the driveway in as well?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the driveway will be part of this, yeah.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against it? Hearing, seeing none, do you have anything further you'd like to add?
I don't believe so.
All right, thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question of Amy?
Go ahead.
So, Amy, I just want to make sure I understand what you explained a few minutes ago. Want to make sure I have it right. So, the only reason why this has to come before us for a special exception is because it is a garage. So, if he were adding an addition that wasn't a garage, we wouldn't be here, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Because of the square footage. When he combines the 2
This square
garages.
footage is
the
the garage.
And hypothetically, should the town engineer say, we don't want a curb cut that close to an intersection, which is an issue, there's a certain distance, and I'm not going to speak out of turn with the engineering rules. They want somebody backing out close to an intersection, having too many entry points. But should you have approved it, for example, and then the town engineer say didn't like it, which is not what she's saying at this stage of the game, it just needs to be permitted, then we would have a garage with no driveway, ultimately. So that's why they're separate issues, so. But yes, the only reason is because it contains garage and it's in excess of what he is entitled to by right.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, hold on. The public hearing's been closed, and now we're ready to vote. So somebody going to make a motion?
Chairman, I'll make a motion, accept special request for garage area, 1,428 square feet, to construct an attached 2-story garage addition at 85 Northfield Road, as shown on the copy of plot plan dated April 15, 1977, and submitted plans received January 12, 2023. subject to comments of the town engineer dated 2/17/23. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Conroy.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Harris.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. Special exception's been approved.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Good luck. Next variance request is 23-004, variance request for Cohen, 20 Partridge Run. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. Variance request for side yard of 16.3 feet, where 20 feet is required to construct a two-story attached garage at 20 Partridge Run, as shown on zoning location survey, land now or formerly of Gina A. Cohen and Stephen Cohen, 20 Partridge Run, dated November 4th, 2020, and submitted plan, oh, that's the wrong one that I'm reading. All right, sorry about that. Yikes. All right, applicant seeks side yard of 16.3 feet where 36.3 feet exists and 20 feet is required to construct a two-story attached garage at 20 Partridge Run in an R18 district. Applicant previously received variance approval for side yard in 2007 for a two-story addition to the opposite side of the dwelling. The board should consider the use of the second floor space, whether the purpose of attaching the garage is for garage height, since a detached garage would be compliant, but limited to 15 feet in height. Moreover, by moving the main door in front of the proposed garage to the side and reducing the width by 4 feet, no variance approval would be necessary. There is ample area to construct an attached garage within required setbacks.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, sure, my name is Steve Cohen, and I live at 20 Partridge Run.
Hey, please explain your application.
Sure, I'm looking to build a high bay garage, which actually will end up being 2 floors, because I want to put a lift in there. I work on cars. I was a mechanic for 10 years. Now I'm in IT, but I have my own private cars. My hobby is also racing, and I have a motorcycle. I have a very small garage that's on the house now. Currently, I'm working outside, sometimes in the street. I'm trying to make everything be able to be done at home. Try to keep everything out of eyesore or area for neighbors or anybody else, trying to make it neater, any kind of storage. It's also limited in the neighborhood, so there's not a lot of room to add different things. And again, also to make it, in our neighborhood, you basically can see all sides of the house. If you're walking around the block, which a lot of people do, you see every side of the yard. So trying to keep it in structure with the house to make it appealing, I guess, to look nice, not only to us, but other neighbors. Like, as you mentioned, we did an addition. The only questions on that were there's somebody on the back side of the road that added a second floor, but no first floor. They had like poles basically as a structure holding it, and neighbors were worried, are you going to do something like that? Because they don't like the way it looks. So I could do something that's not attached, but it'll look much nicer since everything's so close. It's not a big wide area where I can put the garage over there and the house over here. So it would look more aesthetic, and we'd even join in the roof so that it becomes, it looks like part of the house and not just a structure sitting out in kind of the middle of the yard between a narrow area of our yard and the neighbor's yard.
Right, so did you look at putting it a little bit behind the house, and
Yeah,
you wouldn't be needing a variance?
so it wasn't even so much behind. Behind, though, would look very odd, but also the yard goes up on a hill, so you'd have to remove 2 trees, basically all the trees in the yard, the fence and everything, and it would set back towards the pool. It would look pretty odd, but there also would be a lot of construction and might actually cause more issue with drainage. Actually, in doing part of this and planning for it, to also help my neighbors, we put in because our house is joined like this, so it kind of makes a gully between us. To alleviate that water area for us and also them, when we had done a driveway last year, we put in a dry well also. So we actually got rid of a lot of water and drainage issues also in preparation for hopefully doing this and to help them out as well.
Anybody got any questions? Bruce?
I'm sorry, what is the hardship?
The hardship, just enough room to be able to have the lift in there and a car in there to be able to work on it. The lift itself is approximately 12 feet wide. You need about 2 feet to each side of it so you can actually get around it. If you're like changing a tire or moving something over, and then to be able to.
I understand that part. I race motorcycles
Okay.
and off-road trucks. What are acceptable hardships, Amy?
Well, first of all, lifts are concerning. They're allowed, but they're concerning because whether current owner or future owners, I would recommend the board condition that no commercial activity is to happen there. That is number one. And I don't believe it's a hardship to accommodate a lift. There's a compliant option for an ample, oversized one-car garage with 4 feet less, at 16 feet wide. He's not requesting a two-bay as it is, so. Just food for thought. So when there's a compliant option, I would question what the hardship is.
Right, that's what I'm doing. My question that there is a compliant route, while it is more detailed and harder to do. I understand that. I don't see a hardship here. So.
Just, yeah, I mean, it's my workshop as well. Yeah, I mean, if you're saying hardship, I guess it's not, oh my God, I have to do this. It's convenient. I love my neighborhood. I have no plans of moving. My neighbors actually, they don't mind at all. My neighbor called me today. My direct neighbor who would be facing him said he's not coming today. He hopes I get it. He has no problem. They have no problem with it. I definitely have no plans of doing anything commercial. I did that for 10 years and got out of it because I don't want to be working on anybody's cars. I work for, a healthcare company. But having that area there will give me an area to work on it. If I have to do something on my wife's car, work on it, and have a workshop in my own house and not be working on things outside or having to go borrow space from somebody and travel, et cetera. As mentioned, we put a lot of time and money into the house because I love the neighborhood, I love the house. I plan on dying at the house, so I'm not worried about somebody else taking over, moving in at some point.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Go ahead.
I'd clarify a little more to Mr. Conroy's question and to clarify for the applicant. Hardship is not relative to individuals. It's relative to the land. There's something preventing you from complying. It is not relative to comfort and convenience or financial gain of the applicant. That's the definition of a hardship. Again, when there's a compliant option, then it becomes a choice not to.
That was
Comply.
I wanted you to give me the definition,
There's the definition.
the legal definition for it.
That is the definition.
That's all.
And
Good.
and in addition, variances follow the land, so it does not follow you whether you're going to die there. There will be somebody occupying that premises at some point
Okay.
later. So that's taken into account when we grant any variance.
Thank you. Anybody else got any questions for the applicant? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against this application? Hearing, seeing none, anything further you'd like to add?
Not really, the space, but I guess you said that's not considered hardship, so there's nothing else that I would say that would add to it, I guess.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing and open for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion, request for a side yard of 16.3 feet where 20 feet is required to construct a two-story attached garage at 20 Partridge Run as shown on zoning location survey. Land now and formerly of Gina A. Cohen and Stephen Cohen. 20 Partridge Run dated November 4th, 2020 and submitted plan received January 13th, 2023. Would this be time to add that there'd be no commercial activities utilized at this house?
Correct, there would be no commercial activity.
Well, we're going to add that. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Conroy.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice?
No to approve.
Ms. Harris?
No to approve.
And Chairman Russick?
No. Your variance request has been denied. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Really? Now, you're the November 21st, 2022 minutes, right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I did read these twice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. One last thing. I got a letter here, and there is, on March 23rd, the annual conference of Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning Agency is holding an event at the AquaTurf, and there'll be guest speakers, and Amy, we have money in the budget for this, right? So if somebody wants,
If you choose to go, we'll make sure you're able
So
to go, just like,
if anybody's interested in going, I have the paperwork here, and you could look at it and go have a good time on the planning and zoning budget. Is there anything else? Oh, I want to welcome Bob Prentice to the Zoning Board of Appeals as an alternate. Welcome.
Welcome, Bob.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
I want to tell you that, I don't know if you've seen the house. All right, wait till the...